it's a club that's special for you now, isn't it? Because we don't have to talk about what happened, of course, but the mental health issues, but the club backed you. And recently there was the Dele Alli, well, the interview that he gave, and how now they've backed him as well. It's important.
Oh, of course, it's massive, and I have no problem speaking about it. Like I said, I was going through a really, really tough time. Didn't want to reach out to anybody. Didn't even really let the club know until it was too late. And from once I needed the help, they couldn't do anything more for me. They did everything, absolutely everything, whether it's keeping it under wraps, supporting me as much as they could, phoning me every day, even supporting me as they went back. And like I said, and as you've seen with Del, they've been amazing for me. It doesn't surprise me. It's such a... people say it's a people's club, and
it is.
It actually is. It's very similar to Leeds, actually, in that sense. The olden clubs, as in, they're just really family clubs. Well, they've changed a lot, I guess, now, Everton has. But whilst I was there, that was never going to change. They was amazing for me, and I'm sure they're going to be amazing for Del as well.
Were your issues football-related?
Probably not so. More off the pitch.
Okay.
Yeah, I was suffering really bad with depression and I didn't really realise it. It probably even started whilst I was in London, towards the end of that period.
Your personal life?
Yeah, personal life and things off the pitch weren't going great. Had a few family issues. So, yeah, it all came at once, really. And then I just didn't know how to deal with it. And it just literally got on top until literally I really needed help. I was in a really, really dark, bad place. And like I said, thankfully, I was able to get the help, and Everton supported me all the way through that. And to this day, like I said, it's a massive, massive thing of mine. And I still believe there's not enough done for players in clubs now. There still needs to be more help. It needs to be more open. There's more conversations happening. And I've had conversations with the Premier League. I've had conversations with the PFA. They're looking at ways to improve it. I'm also looking at doing something myself and trying to build a platform which will help everybody, actually, but also a platform just specifically for athletes and players. What I'm looking into at the minute, and hopefully that we can get that going also.
Because for you, for those who are unaware, you actually got sectioned.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how... sounds wrong for me to say far gone, but I guess it was that far gone, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's that severe. Like I said, some people, like I said, not really know the story. When people say section, they're not really sure. And like I said, when you get sectioned on a section 2, basically, which I was put on, is basically you've been assessed and they've decided you need medical help, and you're not allowed to also leave until the doctor gives you the all clear. So I didn't, even when I needed the help, I didn't still want to go into the hospital because you're that far not knowing what's going on, basically. My head was literally all over the place.
You were a danger to yourself?
Oh, 100%. I was suicidal, 100%. Yeah, definitely a really tough time. I was in when I mean on the bottom, it's the lowest you could be. Like I said, I didn't want to be here. And people looking from the outside, I tell people this now who I speak with and I try to help. I say from the outside, you'd see, oh, he has a nice house, a car, and even I have an amazing family and friends. But I didn't choose, I could hide it away, and I was suffering in silence, really, until it was too late. And yeah, so like I said, back to the section, yeah, it was a tough time, because even, I remember they told me I'd been sectioned, I still didn't even realise what it was until I'd really come round and realised, okay, this is what it actually means.
How were they aware?
So I'd had...
The authorities, I mean, how were they aware for you to be sectioned?
Because the club had been coming to see me, I'd been struggling, I'd been missing a few sessions. So the doctor came and see me a few times. Yeah. And then he put me on to somebody in the hospitals wanting to come and see me. And they was assessing me then. And then basically they knew then I needed help, and I was basically put into care.
It's just, you never know what's happening behind closed doors. Like, I like music, Chester Bennington of Linkin Park. Yeah. Like, there's pictures of him literally like the day before smiling with his family.
Yeah.
You know? I was there at the memorial game for Gary Speed.
Yeah.
I was there. It was an emotional day.
Yeah.
I don't really remember the game, but I just remember people like Shearer and everyone in the centre circle.
Of course.
And his family. His poor family and everything that they went through.
Yeah, and I tell people this now, you never know, like, it becomes easier to put a mask on when you've been going through it for a long time. So I could go into environments and get away with it. like the odd time, someone who might know me closely might say, Aaron, you all right? And I could say, yeah, I'm fine, I'm just a bit tired. But yeah, and palm it off type thing. So I always tell people, like, after being through it, I actually sometimes have now noticed it more in people and being able to like ask people if they're actually okay, and see it. Whereas beforehand, I would have never noticed it in anybody also, especially in like a football dressing room. There's just so much going on. Whereas you're training, you're into a meeting, there's jokes, banter going on. You can easily get away with it, and then I'll see you later, lads. I'm off. And like I said, that's why for me more needs to be done in football environments and in workplaces and businesses everywhere. To be honest, I don't know if there's enough done for anyone. So yeah, it became easy to put a mask on over time, but like I said, when I did get help, it was the best thing I ever did.
How did your outlook on football change after all of this? After being through something which is so detrimental to your mental health and then coming out of it stronger. Yeah. But I'm sure your outlook changed. And I mean, we saw you at Burnley, you saw you in Turkey, and then back at Burnley. Yeah. But how do I put this politely? Did you realise that football isn't the be-all and end-all of everything?
Yeah, definitely. 100%. Like you said, I started to look at everything differently. Like you said, you start to look at everything. When you're younger, you grow up and thinking, I can't wait to have the nice car, a nice house and whatever, jewellery and whatever not. As a young kid, that's sometimes what you think of. And you realise how much none of that is important. And you realise how much it's more important is how you look after yourself, your mind, and how your circle, your friends, your family. These things are the really key parts of things. You can have all the other fancy stuff and material stuff. And honestly, it will not help you in any way if you're not well inside and if your head's not right. It doesn't matter. You could have anything. It might give you a temporary little 5-minute, I got a new car and I'm excited. It'll go away within 5 minutes. And then you go back to being unhappy if you're struggling or depressed. So I started to realise how looking after myself and putting myself right and making sure I was doing what's right for me and was key to everything else in life. And then I also realised by doing that, everything else became great again and you start enjoying things again, which you haven't been for such a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, pressures of being a footballer and all of that, because I remember when Christian Eriksen joined Man United and people were saying, handling the pressure at United is different. I'm like, he's literally died on the pitch. Yeah. I don't think football and pressure is really going to matter to him. Yeah. It's like Bruce Grobbelaar was in the army and he was fighting, and after that, football doesn't really matter, even though you're a goalkeeper and the pressure, you know?
You do start to you look at things differently anyway. Once you've been through certain scenarios, you start to see, well, that's not pressure, that's not a different feeling, I'm not worried about that feeling. This is a totally different place to be.